Welcome to Coral Gables Now. Today on the show, jazz up your work week with a free jazz concert. We'll tell you where and when. Love is in the air. In fact, more people get engaged during this time of year than any other. Need help picking the perfect spot to propose? We've got you covered. Plus, getting a passport doesn't need to take all day. Just head to the passport facility at City Hall for a stress-free experience. And did you know you have the power to prevent many of the vehicle burglaries that take place in the city? We've got crime prevention tips that really work. Those stories and more when you join me right now for Coral Gables Now. Welcome to Coral Gables Now. I'm Belkis Perez. Do you have plans for spring break? Well, if you are an American and you're planning on traveling outside of the country, you do need a valid passport. Luckily for you, we have a passport acceptance facility at City Hall, and that's a great, convenient place for you to renew your passport or apply for a new one. So here to highlight some of the passport services that the city offers is Amelis Sansores. She works at the city clerk's office. Thank you, Amelis, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And then basically your city clerk's office is where this passport facility is located.
Yes.
So how long has it been there?
This year, we are going to have been at the city clerk's office for 10 years.
So 10 years offering this. And, you know, we want to get the word out because it is such a great place. Sometimes, I remember when I first got my passport, I had to go downtown. And it was a huge line, a great amount of wait. But here, really, it's not a long wait at all, and we want to promote that. Recently, though, it was remodeled.
Yes.
And it's making it a lot easier for people going in. Tell me about the changes when you go to the city clerk's office to get your passport.
Well, you'll see that the offices, we now have different workstations, and that allows us to have a more one-on-one with the applicant, as well as giving the applicant and their families all the privacy, all the information on the passports. Everything is very sensitive information, and now with the way that our workstations are set up, I do believe that we offer that much more privacy for the applicants.
You know, before there were so many people coming in. The system that was in place was just, you take a ticket, and then when your number gets called, you would call them in, regardless of who was there. How has that changed?
Well, now we have another system, and a new system, and thankfully that has allowed us to make some changes. It now gives us a queuing system, and we know who is in our office for what, for the different things that we offer. So we know who's there for passports or otherwise, and we can attend to them accordingly. It's also allowed us to make some internal changes and being able to attend to everybody more efficiently.
Right, because, I mean, the passports is not the only thing that the city clerk's office handles, and so people would go there for notarizing a document?
For notarizations, for lobbyists, for research requests, and we wanted to be able to separate and know who was coming into our office for what, and that way, like I said before, be able to attend to everybody in a timely fashion.
How long does it take right now? What's the estimate to get a passport when you go there?
Regular service right now, and once you are in our office, we try to help you out and get you in and out of our office as quickly as possible. And regular service right now is anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. And what type of documents do people need?
If it's a first-time passport, and whether it's for a child or for an adult, they are going to need proof of citizenship, be that a birth certificate, original, all the documents do need to be original, or a certificate of naturalization, if they are naturalized citizens, or a certificate of birth abroad. But those are the three main documents. There are some special cases, but those would be the three.
Okay, it's so funny because I got stopped at in our parking lot at City Hall by someone who wanted to know what documents he needed before he went into the passport office. So it's funny how people are constantly, needing that information. What are the facility hours?
Right now, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And that Saturday 8 to 2 is relatively new. That's a new service, and I think it's great because we've got so many people that have kids that really need to go do that. But with school and the work week, it's really hard to get out. So is this just in conjunction with the farmers market, or is this from now on a permanent?
We started that way when we just to see what the volume of people that would come in, but it has been extended to just be a regular day of operation for us. It is, like you said, very convenient for a lot of people. That way they don't have to take their children out of school early, or they don't have to leave work early, so it has become a regular work day.
You also have other services, which is you can also take the picture there, so that makes it even more convenient. You don't have to go somewhere else and get a photograph taken.
We like to think of ourselves as a one-stop shop. Well, we also have the applications available to you, so if you don't have them, that's not a problem either.
All right, thank you, Amelis. And if you want to take advantage of this passport service, you can go to the passport acceptance facility. It's at the city clerk's office, which is located at City Hall. It's 405 Biltmore Way. If you want more information, you can always call 305-460-5351. And changing topics now, the Coral Gables Museum is the place to hang out on Wednesdays at lunchtime. Great music and great food await when you head over to the Museum Plaza Wednesdays at noon. Jazz in the Gables showcases a different jazz performer or ensemble every week. Pick up lunch while you're there as well. Catering by Lovables will have box lunches for sale, and Peterbrook Chocolatier will offer some chocolate treats for sale. Make sure to take advantage of this special music series because the last concert takes place on March 26th. Visit jazzinthegables.org for a list of upcoming artists. If you follow Sports and live in the Gables, we've got a great deal for you. Residents are eligible for free tickets for men's basketball and women's basketball games. Thanks to a development agreement between the city and the University of Miami, residents can receive up to 4 free tickets per household. On March 8th, the men's basketball team will play Wake Forest at 2 p.m., and on March 2nd, the women's team will play the University of Pittsburgh at 1 p.m. The games are played at the Bank United Center. Tickets will be distributed ahead of time on a first-come, first-served basis. Call the Coral Gables War Memorial Youth Center at 305-460-5600 for distribution dates. And good news for our senior residents, it is looking like this location may be the future home of the city's first real senior center. The city is now in negotiations with the Palace to purchase the first floor of the parking garage just across the street from the Palace at 2 Andalusia Avenue. If the deal goes through, the Palace has offered to allow senior center members to use the Palace's fitness center, aerobics dance area, and pool on certain days. And the agreed upon price is $3 million, but of course there are more negotiations that need to take place. But as soon as that deal is finalized, we will let you know. And in other news, there is a new online publication that has ranked the University of Miami as one of the top 50 fittest colleges in the nation. But it gets better. Rodolfo Roman explains.
The University of Miami is known worldwide for their accomplishments in athletics, but it can also add another recognition thanks to students. The university was named among the top 50 colleges in the country by the Active Times.
Well, I think one, it's just their self-interest in being fit and active. South Florida, with the outdoor weather, except for today, it was a little chilly, is conducive to being active. The building that we're sitting in has just turned 18 years old. We've had over 12 million visitors, and it's about 140,000 square feet with anything that the students would want to get involved with. So it's a wonderful opportunity for them. Part of the FIT campus is nutrition, and our dining services do a great job. They've got 6 or 7 different dining venues at each location, from vegans to regular food, made-to-order sandwiches, salads.
The school comes in at 39th place, earning the highest fitness rating in the state. The online publication ranked the school according to facilities and team sports participation, campus eateries, and overall quality of student life.
It's good for us because I think it shows that we care about the total well-being of a person. I like to say you get a great education at the University of Miami, but you get a life at the Wellness Center. And that's important. We want kids to grow up to be old and healthy and to live an enriched life. It's nice to have the book learning, but if you die of a heart attack at 35 years old, it's not doing you any good. So
the school offers plenty of opportunities to practice a healthy lifestyle, which includes a wellness center equipped with an indoor pool, state-of-the-art fitness equipment, and more. Faculty motivates students to work out using different techniques.
We do the written, but now it's a life of social media, so we're on the Facebook and Twitter and what have you for the students. The freshmen all live in the 4 12-story towers that are basically adjacent to this building, so hopefully they get indoctrinated in what we have to offer here during their first year, and they continue to do so.
The center also caters to Coral Gables residents, providing several fitness classes. For information, visit www.miami.edu/wellness. For Coral Gables Now, Rodolfo Roman.
All right, thank you, Rodolfo. We'll be right back with more of Coral Gables Now.
Take a pop quiz with me. In what film did I feel a need for speed? What was my call sign? Who did I sit behind in the F-14? Oh, and one more question. Who does your kid sit behind in homeroom?
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school and know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
Welcome back. Just like any other city, Coral Gables is not immune to crime, but there may be things that you are doing that could make you a target. So here to give us some crime prevention tips is Officer Kelly Denham with the Coral Gables Police Department. Officer, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
So let's start off with vehicular burglaries, very common in the city, but you know, this is an area where people can really make a difference.
Absolutely. This is probably our heaviest crime in the city with things being taken out of motor vehicles. So we have some tips on how not to be a victim. The first thing, believe it or not, is just lock your car doors. We have arrested suspects. What they do is they tug on the door handle, and if it's locked, they move on to the next car. They're telling us this. So we just want people to lock up their car doors.
So is that really a common theme when you look at all these burglaries, is that the majority of the cases, it's unlocked doors?
Probably 85 to 90% are unlocked doors. So if it's locked, that means what has happened is they've left something good inside. A bad person is not going to take a chance of being noticed because remember, they want to conceal themselves. So if there's a purse, a computer, an iPad, an iPod in the vehicle and they can see it through the window, they're going to break the window. So the other tip is remove all those items either inside the house or into the trunk of the vehicle.
Right, not visible if someone is passing by.
Correct.
Okay. So just there, 80% to 90% of those burglaries could be reduced, potentially.
Just by locking the car doors and also removing even as something as simple as an empty Macy's bag.
Exactly.
Simply because the bad guy doesn't know what's inside.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to home burglaries. Is there a common point of entry that burglars like?
Well, once again, the bad guys want to conceal themselves, so a lot of times they go to the rear of the property. If you have French doors, sliding glass doors, or an open door or window, that's usually going to be the point of entry.
Okay, and what happens when they go inside?
They already have a plan. They want to get in, get out before the police show up. So what they do is they head straight for your master bedroom because a lot of people are about convenience. They have their jewelry, they have their money, they have any kind of item that they need to use a lot located either in their master bedroom, closet, or their master bathroom. So what we're telling people is if you have that your grandmother's ring that you really, really don't want to lose in case you're a victim of a burglary, relocate it to another part of the house. Get a lockbox. You can buy something as small as a shoebox, place it in there, and place it in your kitchen underneath some pans. Place it in the laundry room. Just make sure that you have told someone where you're hiding it that you trust, so in case you do forget where you hid it, somebody else can remember.
So again, most of the cases, these people go straight to the bedroom and the bath.
Correct.
Okay. So, you know, let's say that we need more tips. I know that you guys offer a great service, which is you know, you have a police officer that goes out and assesses your home and then shows you the vulnerabilities.
Absolutely.
Tell
It's
us about
called a
that.
home security survey. Myself or another officer will respond. It's a free service that the Coral Gables Police Department offers. We spend about an hour on your property, and we look at it from a bad guy's point of view. How would I break into your home? And once inside that home, do I see any vulnerabilities where I would easily access removing items? So we offer it not only in a verbal form, but we also give you a written form to give you an idea of how to improve it. And something as simple as adding a screw at the top of a sliding glass door so they can't lift the sliding glass door up, or a bad dog sign. You don't necessarily have to own a dog and put a bad dog sign up. That at least gives a message to the bad guy that they don't want to attempt to go into your home.
Okay, good tips. And another service that you guys offer is vacation checks. Tell us about that one.
Absolutely. When you leave your home, whether it's for the weekend or for an extended vacation, there's a fear of being victim to a burglary. Right. The first tip is let your neighbors know. We always say get to know your neighbors, have them park a car in the driveway, let them know when you're going to be leaving and when you're going to be coming home. Don't stop your mail or your newspaper service. You never know whether or not they could be relaying that information to somebody else that you're not there. Sure. Get your neighbors to pick up those items. But thirdly, we have what we call is a house watch. You call the Coral Gables Police Department. The house watch is entered. We ask you several questions when you're leaving, when you're going. We don't publish that information. We give it directly to our officers, and they come by once a shift and check out your home and make sure everything's okay.
Wow, that's a great service. So if anyone wants more information on how to do either the home assessment or the vacation check, how can they get into contact with the department?
All they have to do is call the Community Affairs Unit, and that number is 305-460-5401, or just contact the police department. They'll know how to direct them to the proper people.
All right, thank you, officer. Great tips. And we'll be right back with more of Coral Gables Now. Welcome back. The Coral Gables Museum was selected to host the Miami Marine Stadium exhibition, and it's also the place where there was a fundraising concert for that same cause put on by Gloria Estefan and Jimmy Buffett. Diana Herrera went to that concert, and she has more for us. Diana?
Celebrities Jimmy Buffett, Gloria, and Emilio Estefan visited the city of Coral Gables to support the preservation and restoration of the Miami Marine Stadium.
I'm a boater, so the Marine Stadium is very special to me. I've seen it a lot of times from there, from the water, and I think it's a very unique place. There's nothing in the world like this stadium, and I think that being a boating community, a water tourist mecca, that one more thing that is unique to the city can only help to draw tourists and a lot of people that don't even know that it's there. And I think it could be a really special place again because we performed there years ago.
Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know.
The three performed a mini concert at the Coral Gables Museum private event destined to raise funds and awareness about this magnificent venue that it once played an important part of the Miamians.
I think that having Gloria and Jimmy Buffett as the faces of the fundraising, it will be extraordinary in the next year.
The event also featured a silent auction in which original seat rows from the stadium were autographed by the Estefan and offered at a bid starting at $1,000. Musicians Gloria Estefan and Jimmy Buffett are the faces behind this extraordinary campaign that seeks to raise at least $30 million to help restore the iconic structure on Virginia Key.
The Friends of the Marine Stadium the group has 18 months to raise the money, and tonight I think that we're good to go and that we will raise the amount needed for the renovation of the Marine Stadium.
Going where the weather suits my clothes.
Jimmy Buffett rocked the audience performing classic hits that evoked the good old days in which the Miami Marine Stadium was the place to be.
I went from everything to concerts, to Easter sunrise services, to boat races. What a wonderful way to be a part of Miami. You can't beat the Marine Stadium.
The 6,500 plus seat stadium was built in 1963 on land donated to enjoy water sports activities. It was designed by architect Hilario Candela, whom was then a 28-year-old recent immigrant from Cuba. The venue was eventually abandoned and even vandalized. Today, the campaign seeks to raise awareness about the uniqueness of this architecture and revive its glorious days again. Reporting for Coral Gables Now, Diana Herrera.
All right, thanks, Diana. And there are some other high-profile people that have come by our city recently. Shortly after being elected president of Honduras, Dr. Juan Orlando Hernandez Alvarado requested a meeting with Mayor Jim Kaysen. Dr. Hernandez Alvarado, who was sworn into office in January, visited Coral Gables recently and met with Mayor Kaysen. The president was looking for ideas and opportunities to implement programs that resulted in operational efficiencies in that country.
We spoke about best practices for the fire and police departments. We also discussed the commercial industry. Coral Gables is a model worth following for the rest of the world. We hope that one day we will have the same quality of life that you here in Coral Gables enjoy.
And Mayor Kaysen suggested that the president open a consulate office in the Gables to represent the large number of Hondurans living in Coral Gables. Kaysen also gave the president the key to the city. We'll be right back.
Hey, kid, what's shaking? Besides me.
Dad, there's something wrong with the fridge.
What? Ooh, a snack.
Got energy hogs in your house? Now you have the power to do something about them. Log on to energyhog.org. Because nobody likes an energy hog.
Hey, they got Charlie! Eh, who cares?
Things can get pretty ugly when you're bored. In an after-school program, you can find something way better to do.
Are you thinking about popping the question anytime soon? Well, I don't mean to be pushy, but it is engagement season. So, just to help you along, we put together some great places here in the Gables where you can propose. And Rodolfo Roman, who recently got engaged as well here in Coral Gables, has that story. Rodolfo?
That's right, Belkis. You know, it was just recently I had the opportunity of proposing to my fiancée right here on this same street in front of City Hall during the Junior Orange Bowl parade. But that's just one idea on how to pop the question in the City Beautiful. With all its beauty surrounding, Coral Gables is a hot spot to propose to your significant other. Personally, I took advantage asking my fiancée during the Junior Orange Bowl parade in front of City Hall. But that is just one idea on getting down on one knee and asking for marriage.
Coral Gables is City Beautiful. There's so many places that you can go. If you are the artsy type, I recommend, what about gallery night? Especially if you met at gallery night. Go back to that same exact spot and propose to your girl. If you are book lovers, you have the outdoor cafe patio at Books and Books. If you are foodies, you have Redfish Grill. Talk about a view. If you're the sporty type, I'd say go golfing at the Biltmore Golf Course, and you have a great background for your picture.
There's no doubt there are top spots before you get started on planning your wedding and then starting a family. An ideal place is the Venetian Pool or Fairchild Tropical Botanic Garden.
So if you want something low-key, which is one of the steps that I suggest to all couples when you're about to propose, especially to the guy, the gallery night idea. I have one couple, for example, they met at gallery night, and a couple of years later, he went back to that same exact spot and proposed to his girl. It was really sweet, very touching. Now, if you want to spend some money, keeping it in Coral Gables, rent out Venetian Pool and you can do a scavenger hunt and have your girlfriend show up at Venetian Pool at night with the lights. Very romantic.
So what does it take to ask your loved one to convince her to walk down the aisle?
First one, make sure you have money saved for that ring. If not, start saving now. You shouldn't go into debt over that. Number 2, ask her parents for the blessing. There's something so polite and respectful about asking for that permission. Number 3, find that ring. Every girl dreams of a ring at some point. Ask the mother, ask the girlfriends. They're gonna be able to clue you in on what kind of ring she really wants.
Just remember to make sure this is what you want before placing the ring on her hand and investing on a marriage. Well, the key to proposing to your significant other is just to make it short and sweet and make sure whatever you say comes from the heart. Well, that's all I have for you, Belkis. Back to the studio.
All right, Rodolfo, and when are you getting married?
Well, very soon. I'll make sure to send you a tweet and let you know and invite you.
All right, well, we'll keep on asking you in another 6 months. All right, and that does it for this edition of Coral Gables Now. Thanks for watching Coral Gables Television. Make sure you like us and watch us on youtube.com/Coral Gables TV. And we leave you now with some more of the beautiful music played by Jimmy Buffett and Gloria Estefan at the Coral Gables Museum during their fundraising concert. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month.
Nibbling on sponge cake, watching the sun bake. All of these Miamians got oil. Strumming my 6-string on my front porch swing. Smell those shrimp in the beginning, boy. Get that man a pot. Wasting away in Margaritaville, searching for my lost shaker song. ¿Dónde está el ser? Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's all the pot's fault.
It's your fault. Come on,
I don't know the reason. I stay here all season. Nothing to show but a brand new tattoo. But it's a beauty, a South Beach cutie. Or maybe she drove up from Homestead. I haven't got a clue. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. We're here, searching for my lost shaker song. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know this is all Emilio's fault.
Yeah. All right. For sure.
I blew out my flip-flop. I stepped on a pop top. I broke my leg twice. I had to limp on back home. But there's booze in the blender.
Why do I know that line?
So they will render. And those a concoction that helps me hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Wasting away again in Margaritaville. Here I am, searching for my lost shaker song. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault.
Your fault.
See this thing do? La gente dice, este mujer es culpable. Yo sé que es mi maldita culpa.